episode of Financial Freeway. My name is David J. Atwood. I am the man rocking the Ray-Bans. And today, another gorgeous June morning. The sun is up. Oh, I love getting up early in the morning. Oopsies, spilled some coffee there. I really, truly do. I love it because when I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm watching the sun come up over the horizon, the world is mine. The entire world is mine. I am the captain. I'm all alone, and I feel as though I just own the world. I really do like that. There's so much peace, and there's no real demands on my time at that point in the morning. Like I have, and also another great thing about getting up early, like I like to do, is I just gotta straighten myself out here. I'm still wearing a back brace because of the back injury, but it does help moving around, having that extra. I don't know if it's a security blanket or anything right now, but it feels good. Anyways, I love being up early in the morning. It's such a sense of accomplishment for me and control. And that's another thing. Like, one of the things in my life that is such a big deal is having a sense of control. Control over my mind, over my body, over my diet, over, just having that sense of agency or independence. And I love that about my finances too. Like, I love, like, this last night, the thought raced across my head: what if I never went to work again? What if I never showed up for work again? And what I love is that I have put myself in a position where I can do that. I can never go back to work again if I want. I don't believe I would have the retirement that I would enjoy, but I believe I need a little bit more work to get that set up, and I have more things to do. So I will continue to forge ahead until I get to the goal of being able to retire in at a level that I feel I have grown accustomed to. So on that note about the early mornings, first of all, if you want, now again, this is only from my perspective. This is not, I am not the end all be all, but this is what I do, and this is what I have found has worked really well for me. First thing I found in my life, when I started getting up early, when I joined the 5 a.m. club, and I started getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I found that instantly I started getting to a point where I felt more in control of my life. Just the act of waking up early, just that. Now, okay, so say you're a person who 5 o'clock in the morning is just not reasonable right now. Let's start simple. Let's start with a half hour earlier than what you normally do. Get up a half hour earlier. Now, remember, I've said before that I've always considered myself a writer. I've considered myself a writer since I was 19 years old. And one of the movies that inspired my writing, I considered myself a writer before this, was the movie Bright Lights, Big City. And there was a point in that movie where Michael J. Fox is saying that he, was trying to write his novel. He's trying to write that next great big book. And he woke up an hour earlier every day to write, and he focused writing in the morning. And that's when I started to think, okay, I'll start writing in the morning. It's what I'll start doing, that stuff. And that was, when I was I was still 19 when I did that, when I started doing that. 19, 20, something like that. So it was a while ago. But it's that control I was able to have in my life by just simply making the decision to get up early. No one can stop you from doing that. That's the thing. There's no impedance to that. There's no roadblocks to you having to wake up early. You just simply decide, oh boy, what are we doing here? He gets a back of the window wave for that one. Thank you. Looks like they're doing construction here in the morning, so they've... Oh, why do they do that? It's so incredible to me to realize that right now we are at just after 6 in the morning, and they've started doing road construction on the second biggest artery into the city, and they've decided to close off one lane. It's just the worst mistake to do, I think, planning-wise. But I don't understand the whole project. I just really don't like it when they do stuff like this. And what do they do? Are they gardening? Oh, for Pete's sakes, they're gardening. Now that's upsetting. They're just cleaning up some greenery that's growing through the asphalt. Ugh. So, anyways, the whole thing is by getting up in the morning, you are taking control of your life, and that's how it begins. You start off with simply just waking up in the morning and saying, I'm in control. The second thing I think is really, really great. Again, these are simple wins. They don't cost any money. They don't take a formal education. There's nothing stopping you from waking up an hour early or a half hour early. But what I would strongly recommend, if your schedule allows it, get to a point where you can watch the sunrise. I mean, it is so amazing. Even if you can't actually see the horizon from where you are, like I technically can't see the horizon where I'm at because there's mountains in the way because I live in a valley. But you get to watch the lights, the sky change color, and the world go from night to twilight to day. It's a really incredible transition. But get to a point where you can watch that, if your schedule can allow it. Now, if you're the kind of person who your shift starts at midnight, well, that's unreasonable to ask you to wake up at 5 a.m. because you're probably awake at 5 a.m. anyways at work. But the point is by looking at your schedule and making the conscious decision to take some ownership of your time, your life, your schedule, and actually waking up an hour earlier or 30 minutes earlier. Let's start with 30 minutes earlier. You make such a big difference in your life. Those 30 minutes can be a little bit longer preening and getting ready in the morning, letting your car warm up in the morning instead of just hopping in and starting it and just taking off. Taking a slightly longer way to work in the morning, avoiding traffic. Like, there's so many positives to waking up early, and you don't have to be a guy who needs to write the next great novel by getting up early and punching out the prose. You could literally just start, making a lunch, making yourself a warm breakfast, things like that. Like, really, really making a difference in your world by just simply getting up earlier. The second thing, I think, and this even I would say even comes before waking up 30 minutes earlier, is one of the things that kept me back for the longest time was my constant string of losses. It was every day was a loss. Every day was, my boss was aggressive towards me when I had a boss that was very aggressive towards me at one point. She very much did not like me, and she made it clear she didn't like me. And she would put on a lot of tasks, and I remember one day going to her, physically, the laws of physics prevent me from getting this list of things you need me to do every day done. And she looks at me and she goes, I know, I need to give you more than I know you can do. And then I'll be satisfied if you got half of them done. And I looked at her and I said, so every day I go home thinking like I'm a failure. She's like, well, that's how we operate here. It's like, I didn't like that. So every day she would give me a list of things to do, like a whole list of things that I needed to do. And there was just no way with the parameters set on me where I was working, because it was a major corporation. They had a lot of policy with regards to how you did things. So it was this sense of failure every day. And of course, then you get the bills. I was struggling to get through to pay the bills, struggling to make sure that the rent was paid on time, and we had enough money for groceries, and gas. Oh, there's so much financial stress. These are all just a bunch of losses. Every day was a loss. Every day was you failed. Put into my face. But when I started doing little things to change that, when I started saying things like, okay, today I woke up earlier than everybody else. That's a win. I woke up earlier than my family, and while they were sleeping, I was down on the dining room working on creating my future, having a beautiful, delicious, warm breakfast, and a nice hot cup of coffee. I was able to relax and have a moment where it was like, this is my day. This is my time. I really, and that's when I started to kind of start stacking up those wins. The next thing is having that glass of water. Having a glass of water is the simplest way to start actually taking control of your diet. First thing in the morning, I heard someone say it, drink a glass of water. Someone says 2, but I say, no, just drink 1 glass of water to get to that habit of drinking water. And that you're now taking control of your diet, which I think is really important to being in control of your finances. Is simply getting in control of your diet, and having that simple glass of water first thing in the morning is not only is it good to hydrate you, because the brain's 75% water, and we work on water. It's how our bodies. We are creatures of the ocean, right? We need the water. It's good for us, but it helps flush out your system. It wakes you up, but it's also a way of you taking control, and that's giving you that W, that win, a glass of water. Just go up and get yourself a glass of water every morning. First thing, before you do anything, before you have a cup of coffee, before you have that hard-boiled egg for your breakfast, you have yourself a glass of water. It makes such a difference. It's made a difference in my life, and it's another way for you to take control. These are simple things, and they don't cost anything. That's the point. There's no reason why you can't do it. There's absolutely no reason. Maybe it's going to be tough to get into the habit of waking up earlier. But drinking a glass of water, that's as easy as falling down. Just go to the tap, pour yourself a glass of water, drink it. There's nothing holding back from that. The third thing, and this one I think is really important, is make your bed. I read that book. I can't remember the author's name right now, but I read that book, Make Your Bed, and I thought it was, I actually thought it was a stupid premise, but all the people that I looked up to, all the smart gurus that I was looking up to about success, all said I had to read this book by this Navy SEAL guy. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I read the book, Make Your Bed. And it basically says make your bed because when you make your bed, that's something you've accomplished. You've accomplished at least one thing in your day. This was back in the day when I was building a company called Atwood Magic Studios. And I was doing a lot every morning. Before I even got out of bed, I was going through the news feeds. I was publishing stuff. I was reaching out to celebrities. And for someone to say to me, you'll accomplish at least one thing, I was like, dude, I accomplish a lot before I wake up in the morning. So, yeah, thanks. But no, I didn't think much of it. But sometimes you have to trust in the process. Sometimes you look at someone who's successful, they say something, and they say, you should do fill in the blank. You should do this. And, maybe not take, if you don't believe in it or don't understand it, maybe not take his word for it. But when 2 or 3 or 4 of your, I won't say heroes, start saying stuff like that, you should take heed. So I trusted in the process. I did trust in the process. So I got up and I made my bed. And then when I got home at the end of the night and I went into my bedroom and I saw my bedroom was clean and prepared for me, I realized why you should do that. It wasn't when I was making the bed. It wasn't because I accomplished something. It was just simply I deserve it. I deserve to come home to a clean room and a clean bedroom. And it made me, it rose my value in my mind. And that, I was like instantly like, okay, that's why we do this. Got it. So, but these are three things that you can do that will change your life. You can start them tomorrow. You can start it first thing in the morning. It's not about doing push-ups. It's not about, having a lot of discipline. It really isn't. But it'll set you on the path to start having those wins. And it'll set you on the path to start having that discipline. And it will make a difference in your life. It really will. This is not magic. This is not mysticism or religion. It's just, there is practical effects to this. The physiological effect of having a glass of water first thing in the morning, the power of waking up a few minutes early in the day, and I tell you, the effect of making your bed, as simple as that sounds, it will change your life. It's really that simple. Three things. Those are three W's you can put in your life, and once you start to make them a part of your every single day, once you start making it a part of your routine and your ritual, you will watch your life transform. You will start paying your bills on time. You will start saving money. You will start reinforcing those relationships that you have with people. It's mind-blowing how these simple things will make a difference. Look, lives are changed, not in the lecture hall, not in the boardroom, not on Wall Street. They're changed right there. These are the little incremental steps that will make such a big difference in your life and your future. It's so powerful. The most important thing, though, is that it gives you those little W's. It gives you those little wins where you start to feel a transformation without having to feel so much struggle and so much resistance to change. Anyways, folks, that's it for me today. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you check out financialfreeway23.ca. That's where all the really good stuff is. Got some good archival stuff there. Also, check out whiskeycompass.ca. That's this little project I've been working on. I really appreciate if you guys could help support me with that. And, of course, like, subscribe, notification, blah, blah, all that YouTube stuff. And finally, as we always say, spread the word. Spread the good news. Spread the gospel, what we're teaching here. Because we want everyone in the world to understand that they have an inalienable right to live a life of success, happiness, and abundance. Wherever you are in this beautiful early morning, God bless.